Once, in a remote corner of the world, there lay a dense and ancient forest known as Whispering Woods. The trees here stood tall and twisted, their gnarled branches seeming to reach out to grab anything that dared to enter their domain. The locals whispered of the forest's dark history, warning outsiders to stay away, but curiosity often gets the better of the adventurous. One fateful autumn evening, a group of 4 friends decided to explore Whispering Woods. Sarah, the adventurous leader, convinced her friends, Michael, Emily, and Jake, that the stories were just old legends, nothing more. Armed with flashlights and a sense of excitement, they ventured into the eerie woods. As the group moved deeper into the forest, the air grew colder, and the once gentle breeze turned into an unsettling, whispered murmur. The leaves rustled in the dark, and the branches seemed to sway to an eerie, unheard rhythm. Unnerved but determined, they pressed on. Hours passed, and the forest became a labyrinth of twisted paths that all seemed to lead nowhere. Panic began to creep into their voices as they realized they were hopelessly lost. Sarah, the self-proclaimed leader, tried to hide her fear, but couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. As they stumbled upon an eerie clearing, they found an ancient, decaying cabin that looked as though it hadn't seen human life in centuries. The door creaked open, and the group, shivering from the cold, decided to take shelter for the night. They huddled together, the dim light of their flashlights casting long, ghostly shadows on the cabin's rotting walls. But the night was far from restful. Strange sounds echoed through the cabin, whispers that seemed to seep from the very walls themselves. The friends heard eerie, mournful cries in the distance, like the wails of tormented souls. Shadows danced in the corners of their vision, and they caught glimpses of phantom figures that vanished when they tried to focus on them. The hours dragged on, and the cabin seemed to come alive with a malevolent energy. The walls closed in, and the whispers grew louder and more menacing. Sarah's flashlight flickered and died, plunging them into darkness. Panic set in, and the friends tried to find their way out of the cabin, but the forest had other plans. The doors and windows of the cabin slammed shut, trapping them inside. Their screams echoed through the cabin, joining the cacophony of whispers and ghostly cries. Shadows converged upon them, and cold, clammy hands seemed to reach out from the walls. As dawn approached, the forest released its grip on the terrified friends, and the cabin's doors swung open. They stumbled out, disheveled and shaken, their faces etched with horror. They had survived the night in Whispering Woods, but they would never be the same. No one would ever know what truly happened in that forest that night, but the friends had a chilling tale to tell, a tale of a forest that came alive with malevolence, where the trees whispered secrets of darkness, and where the line between the living and the dead blurred into a terrifying nightmare. From that day forward, the locals' warnings were heeded, and the legend of Whispering Woods grew even darker, a haunting story that would be passed down through generations as a grim reminder of the horrors that lurked in the heart of the forest.